For me, Christian education and accessibility comes down to justice. This shouldn't be just for some people. This should be for everyone. And it's not fair. If my kids can have this education but somebody else can't, how do we change that and make sure that more families, all families, have that option? My name is Steve Blom. I serve as the Executive Director of Bright Promise in Chicago. We serve a network of 13 Christ-centered schools and under-resourced communities in and around the city of Chicago. We do that through access, through scholarships for students based on financial need. We do it by collaborating with the school leaders and helping them get the resources that they need so that they can serve more families within their school communities. I graduated from Dordt and accepted a position of Youth and Young Adult Ministries Director at Bethel Church in Lansing, which is in the south suburbs of Chicago. When I got to Lansing, it was a unique time in the life of that community. There was a huge population shift taking place in the south suburbs of Chicago. There were a lot of white families moving from the community, black families moving in, and in the midst of this, it's like, what happens to all these businesses? What happens to these churches? What happens to these schools? I knew I wanted to live and work in that area. I actually came into Christian education in a bit of a backdoor way. We were looking for a school for our daughter, and we're looking for one that reflected the community that we're in now, that was very diverse, and we found that in Deer Creek Christian School. It was an open enrollment school, which I very much appreciated, because I've been a part of some schools that were like, nope, you have to belong here or be able to afford this. But at Deer Creek, it was open, and they really worked hard to have as many people participate in a Christian education. I was invited to serve on the board, and shortly thereafter, they asked if I'd step into the interim principal role. So with my background, growing up and appreciating this holistic view of Reformed Christian education and this new perspective from families who are experiencing it for the first time, I thought this could be a really powerful tool for individual and for family and for communal transformation. While that was all happening at Deer Creek, I was gathering with a group of leaders who were responding to an absence of high school options for families in the area. And so we spent 4 years exploring what a new high school would look like, born out of this community. And in 2018, Unity Christian Academy opened its doors and just graduated our first senior class this past year. I was now all in the work of Christian education in diverse contexts, and that led me to Bright Promise. It's an organization that is specifically set up to be an entity that supports this good work. I think one of my biggest loves at the end of the day is ensuring that as many students as possible have access to a Christ-centered school. And I don't say that in opposition to public ed. Like, I want to be very clear about that. I believe Christian education is a whole good all on its own. And I don't want to be this antithesis to something else. I think public ed and private ed is a both and. But I want our schools to be really high quality Christian schools. And in order to define what high quality is, we want our leaders to get together and spur one another on. We essentially set the table for our leaders to gather at least monthly. The other big aspect of our work is listening to our schools identify what goals they want to achieve so that they can serve more families. What we are able to do then is identify those institutional resources and leverage our network size to help our schools afford these resources so they can achieve their goals. At the end of the day, if there is a family in Chicago that wasn't at a school, didn't think they could be at a Christian school, and are now at a Christian school, I believe that's success for us.